14 foods to avoid with high cholesterol you should know. Before discussing foods to avoid with cholesterol, let's discuss what cholesterol is. Or is cholesterol harmful? Cholesterol is a waxy substance that is used by our body to build cells. Cholesterol is naturally produced by the liver, or it may be derived from the food we eat, which contains cholesterol. Cholesterol is of two types mainly: LDL, low-density lipoprotein, and HDL, high-density lipoprotein. LDL is also called bad cholesterol, while HDL is known as good cholesterol. In today's video, we will share with you 14 foods to avoid with high cholesterol you should know. Number 1. Sugar-containing food. This is true that sugar tastes good, especially if you have a sweet tooth. But too much sugar can be harmful, as it can decrease HDL, good cholesterol, while increasing triglycerides. High consumption of sugar-containing foods can lead to weight gain, diabetes, heart disease, and cholesterol as well. Sugary foods include pastries, dessert, processed foods with high fructose syrup, among others. It's also included in spaghetti sauce and fast food in one way or another, like tomato ketchup and breakfast bars. If you're trying to avoid drinks with 100% added sugars, you should opt out of the regular soda from your diet. Number 2. Fried food. Fried foods can be harmful because they are mostly fried in high processed oil that often contains trans fats, which can increase the cholesterol level. High levels of cholesterol increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems. Fried foods such as deep-fried foods and cheese sticks should be avoided because they are high in cholesterol. Do you find this video interesting so far? Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button and ring the notification bell if you want to see more content like this. Number 3. Butter. If you want to lower your cholesterol, then you should reduce the consumption of butter. Because the American Heart Association recommends that you should not consume more than 5 to 6% of total calorie intake from saturated fat if you are trying to low down your LDL. Butter contains both trans and saturated fats, which may increase LDL. You can add oils that contain unsaturated fat in high amount, but are low in saturated and trans fats, such as olive and sunflower oils. You can use butter sprays instead of butter to add flavor. If you use margarine instead of butter, it's better to check the nutrition labels. Margarine can be just as loaded with cholesterol as butter. As margarine is made from unsaturated vegetable oils, it is thought to be beneficial for long-term health benefits than butter. But hard-stick margarine is more dangerous than butter for the heart. This was because they contain a large number of trans fats from partially hydrogenated oils. Number 4. Fast food. In today's world, when everyone is so in a hurry and has no time for proper cooking, it's easy to go and grab a burger or any fast food because it saves time and energy. But too much consumption of fast food might increase your cholesterol level and can be a risk factor for many chronic diseases such as obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. French fries are one of the worst options when you are trying to lower your cholesterol, as they are mostly fried in hydrogenated oil. Replacing it with oven-baked sweet potato fries is not a bad option in case you want to satisfy your cravings, because they are much better for your health. Number 5. White bread. White bread and white pasta are among those foods that should be avoided with cholesterol, because eating too many carbs may cause high BP, heart disease, as well as cholesterol. You can replace it with whole grain bread and whole wheat pasta, as they are rich in fiber, and fiber is not bad for cholesterol. Number 6. Processed meat. Red and processed meat include beef, lamb, and the meats that have been smoked, cured, or preserved, other than freezing. They're bad because these meats are high in saturated fats and can increase your LDL. LDL can cause fatty deposits in your arteries and can increase the risk of coronary heart disease and risk of cancer. Bacon is a type of processed meat. It contains 30 milligrams cholesterol in each ounce, and 68 calories of bacon come from fat, half of which contains saturated fat. It can increase your cholesterol level and ultimately can lead to heart disease and stroke. A review of over 614,000 participants shows that people who consume an extra 50-gram serving of processed meat per day have a 42% higher risk of developing heart disease. Number 7. Grapefruit. In case you are on cholesterol-lowering medication, then grapefruit juice can be the worst choice for you. It not only can increase your cholesterol levels, but it can also interact with your cholesterol-lowering medication. So if you are on medication, it's better to ask your doctor before eating grapefruit. Number 8. Popcorn. For people who love to watch movies, popcorn would be a must choice for them. But you may not know that movie theater popcorns are high in saturated fats because they are popped in coconut oil, and they are also high in salt and sodium. And too much sodium can lead to high BP and other health problems. But you can replace it with air-popped popcorn to satisfy your cravings because it is healthy, whole grain, rich in antioxidants, and low in calories. Number 9. Biscuits. Biscuits are not only high in sugar, but they are also high in saturated fats and low in cholesterol-lowering soluble fiber. Sugar and saturated fats, both are bad, as they can increase the cholesterol levels in your body, but you can replace it with whole grain toast. Number 10. Artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners, also called sugar substitutes, are chemicals added to food and beverages instead of sugar to make them taste sweet. They don't provide many calories, as the amount needed to sweeten the product is small. But it is supposed that they can cause hypertension, metabolic syndrome, and cardiovascular disease, so it's better to avoid them if you are trying to manage your cholesterol level within the normal range. Number 11. Alcohol. A limited amount of alcohol is not harmful. It might have positive effects on your heart, but drinking too much, especially hard liquor, can increase cholesterol levels to an unwanted degree. Liquor does not contain cholesterol, but it contains a high amount of carbohydrates, which increases triglycerides level. Number 12. Ice creams. Ice cream is not the best snack option for those with high cholesterol. One scoop of this yummy frozen treat has more fat than a hamburger and more cholesterol than 10 glazed donuts. You may turn to homemade fruit ice creams to satiate those cravings if you are suffering from a high cholesterol problem. Number 13. Shellfish. Shellfish is a healthy food, but people suffering from heart diseases or high cholesterol should avoid these foods. 3 ounces of lobster contains 61 milligrams of cholesterol, and that does not include dipping it in melted butter. Number 14. Liver. As a food that is high in iron, it can be a healthy dish for some. For others, however, the liver can add to your levels of high cholesterol, as this organ is the primary source of cholesterol in the body. Although there are certain myths related to cholesterol, like all cholesterols are bad, the fact is healthy foods that are high in cholesterol are not harmful to your health, but the food that contains saturated and trans fat is bad. So it's better to avoid foods high in saturated and trans fats. All you need to limit is unhealthy foods that are high in cholesterol, like fried foods, processed meats, and desserts. If you are healthy, the American Heart Association recommends limiting your daily intake of cholesterol to 300 milligrams or less. Will you avoid these foods after watching this video? Please let us know in the comments section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I can't grow this channel without your support. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Stay healthy.